Seattle. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Seattle Seahawks. The excitement level around here at a fever pitch as we're underway in the 2020 NFC Championship game. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Tempo. 14, run it. 18. Gotta go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Gonna throw right side here, complete. He got 29 yards that time.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he was able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. From the shotgun, Wilson. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Going right side here, and that's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Gotta go.
Now Wilson on first down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson eluding the pressure right. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Gotta go. Got it. 14.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Dancing to his left. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 34.
Sunday.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Sean Lee able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
74.
Play action. Now Wentz. And he's going to go down again. K.J. Wright in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Brad McDougald. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd down. You're in a tight game in the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's enough to rattle even the most seasoned of quarterbacks. And here, it looks like he's not quite on the same page as his receiver. This will wind up a turnover.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This is Ajayi. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
On 3rd down, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. On third and long, it's Wills. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now on fourth down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. From the gun, it's Wilson. And an alley to run. Got some room at the 30. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They go read option with Wilson. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play call, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles. Winston, the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. First down, took a bad loss on a running play. take the sack on second down. Now they got to come up with something big here on third.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Now Wentz trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They run it with Carson. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Seahawks on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Corey Grant, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Myers connects on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21.
Hey, other side, solid.
Running right, here's Sanders. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They fake the give. Now Wentz. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. K.J. Wright in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Lion.
Snap coming at 1. Now Wentz. And the pressure gets to him again.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Returnable for Lockett. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Play action. Now Wilson. Now he'll throw deep left side. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. A minute 52 left to play in this second quarter. We'll be back with more in the NFC title bout after this. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Wentz throwing on second down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Working from the gun, Wentz. He's going to let this one go. He's got a man, complete. And they finally get him down at the other 46. A big play there just before halftime. 48 yards. Wentz now on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Shorty.
Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Buying time to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Eagles on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Wentz again. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And just shutting him off there. That goes for a gain of 31.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Come on now, Oaks. Come on now. Let's go. Win 5-3. Win 5-3.
This is Howard on second down. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Now a signal and a timeout called, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches.
Ram.
They give it off here to the tight end. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Dallas Goedert in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Elliott good on the extra point, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. He's going to go up top again. And that is incomplete. Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Down and man inside. Down and man.
Wentz now to throw. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
They go counter with Howard. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
81, 81. Ram. Hey, Lou.
Now Wentz on third down. Aguilar has it. That'll put him close to 100 yards receiving. He's at 98, and he's got a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Here we go. 20. 57.
A give running left. It's Sanders. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go. 20.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Now they toss out wide to Sanders. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Let's go. Great. Shorty.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
The Eagles on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go. 20. Good chip. Ram.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that right there is something we've seen, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And he will find his man on the outside. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On first down, Wilson finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett, 45 yards. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 14-10. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Wentz. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Michael Kendricks in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Go. Waiting. Over here.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. The Eagles on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 17.
Lion.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Bobby Wagner in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense. Because a lot of times,
he's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. 65 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase it.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sidelines? You see the coaches signaling, all the personnel groups up on the sideline ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Trey 15, Trey 15. Here we go. Waiting. Switch. Ram. Check.
Wentz will try again on 2nd down. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson off to the races. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, 63 yards. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Again, it's Wentz. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, eluding the tackle. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Pressure comes and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. It's complete to Lockett. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Wilson toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
Come on, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And an alley to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Ajayi. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Time for a break. Back with more in the NFC Championship game after this. We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Bo Scarborough taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. The extra point now coming from Myers. Myers connects on the PAT, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field.
Let's go. Great. Two jet.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end, can be that wide open and uncovered down the field. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it a 2nd down. To throw is Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. An Eagle first down there. Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Wentz now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10.
74.
Wentz to throw again. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Hey, red 5-2 on here.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very pivotal man.
To throw, it's Wentz. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Liz 5-3, Liz 5-3.
Now Wentz, gotta have this one. This is caught by Jackson. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So with just a few ticks left, they need a miracle. And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Well, partner, recent conference championship games that have been needed to decide who goes to the Super Bowl. What do you got?
Well, if we go back